Hey guys, welcome back. Another update. You can hear the car actually running in the background. Got a few things. Don't think I'm going to make my April 4th deadline, so I'm going to have to reschedule that. And let's go see why. So the engine's running, but it's maintaining its temperature quite well. So fans are doing their job, the cooling system's doing its job, everything's working just fine. But I seem to be having a little smoke out of this bank of the exhaust. So that's the passenger side bank, and so you can hear there's a little bit of a tick in there. And so I'm thinking I need to drop the engine and potentially rebuild it. So, you know, this was a junkyard engine, so obviously who knows what shape it was in. The nice thing was I knew it ran, so may want to go ahead and do that as our next big job. Everything else in the car is running great. All the electrical system is running fantastic. No complaints there. I just drove it up and down the street, and everything works on our wonderful dash. So the GPS speedometer is working great. Everything else seems to be working pretty fantastic. So you can see it there. Got no complaints. It's pretty awesome, actually. So yeah, so that's a bit of a disappointment. So I guess the next thing you'll see is this thing out of the car. I have to drop it from the bottom. Sounds like a real pain in the ass, but you know, we got to have a good running engine. And one of the other things is while I'm running it, I see a lot of smoke coming out of the back, so it's burning oil sometimes. So I'm going to drive it around a little bit more and see if this is actually what needs to be done, and then we'll go talk about it.
Oh, we're upside down.
So yeah, now it's that was Saturday. This is Sunday. So I kind of a little disappointed, depressed. I don't know. Still working on the glass thing, so that's a big positive. The guys from Chip Pro's Auto Glass are out here doing some test fitting and figuring out what they need to do to get a piece of glass in the car. So kudos to them for just really going the extra mile to try to help me out here. So, but let's go take a look at what I'm mostly worried about after doing that test drive yesterday. So we talked about the engine. As most of you know, we have an LS1 in here. It's been operating okay, but yesterday it was putting out a lot of smoke. Now there's a few things that could be. It could be that the turbo underneath there is leaking oil into the exhaust. But then I would probably see, since it's so close to the output of the exhaust, I would see actual oil coming out, which I don't. The other thing it could be is valve seats. It could be the guides are having a problem. Could be any other number or host of things that's going on. So I think, you know, it's probably at some point I've got to rebuild this engine, and so might have to do that sooner rather than later before I get it on the road. So that's a little depressing. The next thing was the transaxle. So what I'm seeing is that as I try to shift it, as it gets warm, it won't go into gear. Which is a little weird. The clutch doesn't feel any different. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to push forward and it's grinding or anything. So I think it has something to do with the shifting or internal to the transaxle. And remember, this is an inverted transaxle, so maybe oil's not getting where it should be, and things are heating up, and the things are not sliding into place. When it cools down, it stops that behavior. So I've got to call into California Motorsports, and I'm going to talk to them about it. Maybe they'll do some work for me on this transaxle. Let's go underneath and take a look at potentially some of the problems. So if we're looking up under here, these are the shift rods. And what I have is I have a set of normal 911 shift rods, and then another set of 911 shift rods and I've welded the two steel parts together quite successfully. So I TIG weld these and strengthen them up with some tubing. They come back, and then they have to bend around here to go to the shifting linkage up in here, which are these guys and this guy here. And so that's one of the issues is that that I think that, you know, maybe it gets warmed up and it's having an issue, and so on and so forth. And so I'm not really sure what's going on with that. So I'm going to have to try to figure that out and why that's warming up. So I'm going to have to take a little bit of a step back. Now, I was talking to you, I'm looking down here, and look, what is that? That looks like oil. And that looks like it's coming from the turbo. And you can see there's a thing coming down there. So potentially that's where our smoke is coming from. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? That if it was just the turbo kind of leaking a little bit, because I can fix leaks. So anyway, I'll dig into that, guys, because that's actually some good news. I'm glad you're here with the discovery of something going on here. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that, and I'll update you guys. I also found another area where the oil's leaking, which is down here by the cats. So I'm going to have to try to figure out where all of this is coming from. But boy, that would certainly explain something. And it looks like the oil is kind of splattered over here. Yeah, so it's splattering out of looks like the exhaust maybe. So maybe I've got a hole in the exhaust. But that doesn't look good. All right, well, I'm gonna have to take the exhaust apart and see where things are coming from. So one of the other things I'm not happy with, I redid the lines on the braking system, but I'm not really happy with the way the pedals are interfacing with the master cylinder. And so I'm gonna get a new set of pedals, and I'm gonna restructure this area in here so that I get, you know, a really good pedal feel, because it's just not right. So I'm going to use these two Willwood master cylinders, one for the clutch, one for the brakes, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach those directly to some pedals, and then I'll have to restructure things around here to get the steering linkage so that it nicely goes where it needs to go with the fewest number of universal joints, because that's just going to lead to sloppy steering. So I've ordered the pedals, and look for that in another update video. Well, guys, I'm glad I could bring you along. We got all the electrical working, so we got like the parking brake, we got turn signals, the marker lights, everything ready to go except for the windshield. So I had to cancel my appointment, as you know. But, you know, this is what it is. I mean, it's a scratch build, you know, we're doing everything first time, and so there's going to be a few hiccups. So I'll just have to get out of my depression on these things going forward and think about what I'm going to do next. And hopefully the oil's not coming from the bank of the it's coming from the turbo and not the engine itself, because that would really suck. So anyway, stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We do have a Subscribestar account. If you'd like to contribute, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. I will be from time to time putting up content for the subscribers that nobody else has seen, so that will be coming from time to time. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye.